The First World War, a conflict of unprecedented scale and brutality, erupted in 1914. It engulfed Europe and its empires, leaving millions dead and a world forever scarred. The war was a cataclysm, reshaping maps and shattering the illusion of a civilized age. From the trenches of the Western Front to the mud and blood of the Somme, a generation confronted the horrors of modern warfare. Amidst the chaos and carnage, a new wave of poetry emerged, capturing the raw emotions and profound experiences of those who lived through it. These poems offered a glimpse into the hearts and minds of soldiers, revealing the true cost of war on the human soul. Among the many poets who wrote about the war, Wilfred Owen, Siegfried Sassoon, and Rupert Brooke stand out as some of the most powerful voices of their generation. Each brought a unique perspective to their work, reflecting their personal experiences and evolving views on the conflict. Brooke, initially enthusiastic about the war, wrote patriotic verses that glorified sacrifice and duty. Owen, who experienced the horrors of trench warfare firsthand, penned stark and unflinching poems that exposed the brutality of war. Sassoon, deeply affected by the war's toll on his fellow soldiers, used his poetry to challenge the romanticism and propaganda surrounding the conflict. Rupert Brooke's early poetry, particularly his sonnet "The Soldier," captured the initial patriotic fervour that swept through Britain at the outbreak of war. Brooke's words resonated with a public eager to believe in the righteousness of their cause and the nobility of sacrifice. His idealized vision of war, however, would soon be shattered by the realities of the trenches. Brooke himself would die in service in 1915, his early death transforming him into a tragic symbol of youthful idealism lost. His legacy, however, remains complex, his early work a poignant reminder of the seductive allure of patriotism and the often brutal disillusionment that follows. In contrast to Brooke's romanticized view of war, Wilfred Owen's poetry offered a stark and unflinching portrayal of the horrors he witnessed. His most famous work, Dulce et decorum est, remains one of the most powerful condemnations of war ever written. This poem, with its vivid imagery of a gas attack and its haunting description of a soldier's agonizing death, shattered any illusions of glory or honor in war. Owen's words served as a stark reminder of the dehumanizing and brutal nature of modern warfare. His unflinching honesty and willingness to confront the true cost of war continue to resonate with readers today. Section 5, Siegfried Sassoon, Glory and Disillusionment. Siegfried Sassoon's poetry captured the arc of many soldiers' experiences, from initial enthusiasm to profound disillusionment. His early work reflected a sense of patriotic duty and a belief in the necessity of fighting for one's country. However, as Sassoon witnessed the horrors of the trenches, his poetry became increasingly critical of the war and those in power who perpetuated it. Sassoon's work often expressed anger and bitterness, railing against the war's futility and the empty rhetoric of politicians and generals. His poems gave voice to the growing sense of disillusionment among soldiers who had experienced the horrors of trench warfare firsthand. Section 6. Contrasting Perspectives, Brooke's Patriotism versus Owen's Realism. The contrasting perspectives of Rupert Brooke and Wilfred Owen highlight the evolving attitudes towards war during this period. Brooke's early poems, written before he experienced the realities of the front lines, reflected a sense of patriotic idealism and a belief in the nobility of sacrifice. Owen's work, on the other hand, offered a stark and unflinching portrayal of the war's brutality, challenging the very notion of glory and honor in combat. These contrasting views reflect the broader shift in public opinion as the war dragged on, and the true cost of the conflict became increasingly apparent. Section 7. The Power of Poetry, Giving Voice to the Unspeakable. The poetry of World War I served as a powerful outlet for soldiers struggling to cope with the trauma they witnessed. Through verse, they could express emotions and experiences that were often difficult, if not impossible, to articulate in ordinary language. Poetry provided a means of processing the horrors of war, of finding meaning amidst the chaos and carnage. The evocative imagery, raw emotion, and unflinching honesty of these poems gave voice to the unspeakable, ensuring that the experiences of those who fought would never be forgotten. Section 8. The Enduring Legacy: How War Poetry Shaped Our Understanding. The poetry of World War I left an indelible mark on literature and our understanding of war's impact on the human psyche. These poems continue to be studied and appreciated today, serving as a reminder of the horrors of war and the enduring power of the human spirit. The works of Owen, Sassoon, Brooke, and countless other war poets helped to shape our collective memory of the conflict, challenging romanticized notions of war and forcing us to confront its brutal reality. Their words serve as a timeless testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of adversity and the enduring power of art to bear witness to even the darkest chapters of human history. Section 9. Conclusion: Echoes of War that still resonate. The echoes of World War I continue to resonate today, and the poetry of that era remains as relevant as ever. These poems serve as a stark reminder of the human cost of conflict, the enduring trauma of war, and the importance of striving for peace. As we navigate an increasingly complex and uncertain world, the words of these poets offer a timeless message of hope, resilience, and the enduring power of the human spirit to find meaning and beauty even in the darkest of times. By remembering the sacrifices of those who came before us and by heeding the lessons embedded in their art, we can work towards a future where the horrors of war are never repeated.